Hello, today we are August the 17th, 2010, and I know it's been quite a while since my last video, which was back at the beginning of January, and before the beginning of all my new treatments. Let me sort of recap some of these treatments. Back in January, I was put on the protocol of what they call treatment of induction. What that means is they give you high dosage of pills and whatever is available, and in my case, up to there I was on a sort of a regular maintenance dosage of Revlimid at 25 milligram, and then Dexa at 40 gram once a week, and the regular antibiotics and Iridia that I was taken to protect my bones. But as of January, I was put on the induction treatment, which is higher dosage of Dexa, of steroids. Instead of 40 once a week, I was taking 40 4 times a week. So Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And Revlimid at 25 milligram, and I was also taking Velcade at once every week, and then plus the antibiotics and the Iridia once a month. I can tell you that after the first treatment of high dosage steroids, you don't sleep very much, that I can tell you. But I did adjust to the non-sleeping on Sunday night, and then maybe an hour on Monday night, and an hour or two on Tuesday night, and maybe a couple of hours on Wednesday night, and then to crash back down maybe on Friday night to try to get some sleep Friday and Saturday, and to start the cycle all over again on the Sunday night. So that was tough, but I've never been so focused, I can tell you that. The Dexa just woke me up. I don't know what it is for people to take cocaine, but apparently it's about the same. The high dosage of Dexa does that, but it stimulates your white cells into your immune system into working. So it's a good catalyst at working with the Revlimid and the Velcade. So no problem after the first cycle. Remember, at the end of December, my results of the protein were at 12. At the end of the first month of first cycle of 4 weeks of this high dosage treatment, I was down at 6. A very good sign. So we were breaking it. In February, same dosage. We just sort of went back to the same high dosage of Dexa, Velcade, Revlimid, and so on. After another 4 weeks of this treatment, I went down to 3 gram, and that's like another 50%. So remember, 2 months prior to that, I was at 12. So we were breaking grounds here. But the doctor sort of felt that at that point maybe we'll sort of slow down the steroids, to keep me sane here, because it was getting tough. I wanted to climb the curtains, but I didn't have the strength to do it because I just lack of sleep. But according to my surrounding here, the people around me here probably thought I had a little less patience. I started renovation, so I had lots of strength and a lot of energy to do that, as I was completely awake and very focused and determined to get something done and not let this become a burden. So in March, the dosage was reduced by half. So the Dexa was brought down. Instead of 44 times a week, it was brought down to 4 times, but 20 milligrams. So it was from 160 milligram a week to 80 milligram. Again with my Revlimid at 25 milligram, the Velcade once a week, and I went from 3 back up to 4. So it proved that the dexamethasone, some patients are actually treated strictly with DEXA. And in my case here, DEXA is a strong catalyst to make all other medications work, especially my immune system. But at the same time, the Velcade had its ugly side effects, where I was starting to have neuropathy, and meaning the tingling in my legs and sore feet and so on. Not as bad as last year when I was strictly on that treatment, but I had some constipation, and then even after a blood test, my red blood cell count was going down, because Velcade did that to me last year. I was almost anemic at 90 when a normal person should be at about 130. So we went on to that treatment for a following month. So now this was the 4th month of high dosage of DEXA, again at 80 milligram of DEXA, regular 25 milligram of Revlimid, and the once-a-week injection of Velcade, to bring it back down again to about 2.8 gram. And I must mention here that when I was diagnosed at 36. At 2.8, I'm less than 10%, so it's a 90% response, which is very, very good. Partial response, or a good response, is considered around 50%. I'm down to close to 0 here, so not remission, but 2.8 is 10% of what, less than 10% of what it was when I was diagnosed in December 2008. And then so we went on to decide at that point that, you remember the reason why we did this high treatment here, like I explained in my last video, was to bring me to a point where, as low as possible, to collect my stem cells. So in May, I was actually taken off all treatments. I'm talking about no Revlimid, no Velcade, no antibiotics, no DEXA, nothing, no Iridia. So completely off all treatment for a month, so that at the end of the month, the beginning of June, I was going to go for a collect. But prior to a collect, I went through what they call a chemo. That is cyclophosphamide, which is a high dosage, very high dosage of a chemo that does not, prevent the doctor from collecting my stem cells, because some other chemo would destroy my stem cells and everything. So that the idea here was to sort of shake my stem cells, and then and then after that 16-hour treatment, I went through. I was in the hospital at 10 o'clock and stayed over the night, because the treatment lasts more than 12 hours. So the last treatment that I had was at about midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, that same day. So they kept me at the hospital. The next day, they installed what they call a permacat. A permacat is 2 hoses that they install on this side here, that they install. They go into your vein, your blood vessel, and they install, and it comes out 2 tubes in order for me to be collected. And it's an hour procedure, and angio surgery and everything. It's got to be done in a perfectly sterile environment, and it's done also with x-rays and everything to make sure that the positioning of the tube is in the right place. And after that 1 hour treatment, they kept me for 2-3 hours, and I was free to go home. And then I was given a treatment for 10 days of Neupogene. Neupogene, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, but I think it's called Neupogene in English. And that Neupogene is to stimulate the growth in the actual my bone marrow, in order to produce and bring out the stem cells, because they must be in my bloodstream in order to be collected. So here I have a little bit of time left, but watch my next video, and then you will see the next part to what did happen after and during the collect. So stay tuned and watch my next video. Thank you.